Hello, everybody, and indeed, welcome to the Chicago Tony V Show. I'm Chicago Tony V, and what do you know? I don't know how many of you caught on yesterday. One of the last things I talked about was, hey, no show tomorrow. That's what I said, and that was the intent. And I was supposed to be traveling today, and the plans changed. So here I go, flying by the seat of my pants. No idea what I'm going to do, which is actually stunningly close to the way I normally do the Chicago Tony V Show. So theoretically, this should be really no problem. This should almost be business as usual. That's what should happen. We'll see in reality if that's really the case. But I must say, the prospect of not doing the Chicago Tony V Show this morning was, kind of a weird, it felt kind of weird. It's like it's a weekday morning. I'm supposed to be talking to the pepperonis. That's what you're all called now, by the way. I think it's been determined. Tony's Pepperonis. I'm supposed to be talking to the pepperonis today, right? So when my plans got changed at the last minute, it's like, wow. All right, here we go. Must be a sign from God. Must be a sign from God that the Chicago Tony V Show needs to move forward. As luck would have it, so we've been sort of talking about watches. Some people seem to think I'm they're very interested about my financial status for some reason. And I got a question in the mailbag. And by the way, I have breezed past the mailbag 2 days in a row. Intended to do the mailbag, and there it said. It's still sitting in my inbox from whichever money penny put it in there. So, on a day like today, where this isn't even supposed to be happening, if I don't do the mailbag today, maybe it's not meant to be. But I thought so. And trust me, I'm not a watch collector, but so I happen to be wearing today, this is an Invicta. It is gigantic. This would be, see how big that sucker is? Even against my big fat head. This is not a photo shoot that Invicta would pay money for. This would be the watch that I get absolutely the most comments on. Just when I'm out and about. Let's see how it looks on my wrist. If I can put it on right. Now, this is my least favored watch. So here it is. You can see it's pretty. I mean, it's gigantic. It's hard showing. This is hard. I have to bend in a very strange way. I get the most compliments on this watch, and I hate it the most. It's really the only... do I have another watch that I really hate? This thing is so heavy. It's insanely heavy. And it just gets in the way. But I thought I would... It's got kind of an interesting story. So I would probably never have ended up with an Invicta watch. But as luck would have it, so I think I've said before on the show, I happened to be I was in Las Vegas. I actually wrote down the date just before we came on because I knew we were going to be talking about this. October 15th, 2011. We'll get into why I know that date in a minute. Anyway, there's an IndyCar race on the 16th. On the 15th, there was a IndyCar did a celebrity blackjack tournament. It was on TV. I can't remember what. I don't know, ESPN or I can't remember who televised it, but anyway, who's in the celebrity blackjack tournament with all the IndyCar drivers? yours truly, Chicago Tony V, is in the Celebrity Blackjack Tournament. And so I got to hang out with all the drivers that kind of like the second half of that day. We shot the thing in the evening, and we just hung around and played blackjack and talked racing and all that stuff. And Tony Kanaan was wearing a gigantic watch. I says, "Hey, Tony, what the hell is that on your wrist?" It's a Victor, you know. He loved these watches, and he talked it up and whatever. And he's such a nice guy. He's like, "Hey, you want it?" Yeah. I was like, no. You keep your watch. But I picked up an Invicta, and they aren't that. I don't think they're that expensive. But I picked one up after the fact, just because I thought it was fun. But yeah, it turns out I really kind of hate the watch. Let's see how we're doing in the chat, people. Mysterious Seat 6259, welcome to the show. Haven't seen you before. Welcome. How do you feel about the Mega Millions lottery? That's I have no opinion whatsoever. Although I think it would probably be upsetting to win the lottery. I think there's a reason why people seem to just go apeshit and their lives are ruined after they win millions and millions. What's the first thing I'm buying when I win the lottery? I'm going to buy a top-of-the-line Nord electric piano. And I'm going to play the shit out of it until I die. But the good news is, I'm going to buy that piano whether or not I hit the lottery. It's locked in and loaded. How about you? What are you going to buy when you hit the lottery? Hello, Bundy75. Good to see you. Good morning, JC. Good to see you again. Oh, Yingling's back. How's the hot dog bush, Yingling? You like the shades, huh? I like the shades, too. I was wondering about you, Yingling. Because I got to know how often you got to water the hot dog bush. How does that all work? Maybe you could call in. We're going to take calls in a little bit. I mean, especially since I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I'm not even supposed to be here, which means this is going to be, probably in the collector's set of the Chicago Tony V show. It'll certainly be on the trivia game that's happening at the end of the year for big money. What was the one show? Which episode was not even supposed to happen? That's going to be today. Technically, it's episode 12. Today, I believe, is episode 12 of the Chicago Tony V show. That reminds my brain for some reason that I got to throw in my disclaimer for my expensive buddy Sal. Everything I say, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. In case I let slide some shit that I'm not supposed to, just please don't take me seriously, okay? Don't come back and sue me or whack me or anything. Yes, Yingling, I play a little piano. You missed the show. You should, so people, just load up the Chicago Tony V podcast. That way you won't miss part of this show seems to, it's really fascinating. It seems to build on itself. Like, it probably makes more sense, it turns out. You'll hear references to things. It'll make more sense if you heard the show, whatever that's referenced. So my thinking is just put the freaking podcast on your phone. It's called the Chicago Tony V show, V like vegetable. You guys know how to do that, right? You kids? Yesterday, my big message was, holy shit, I discovered Michael Feinstein, this piano god. And I shared a little bit about, I used to play piano way back. Sister Marie Josephine told me, I got a picture handy. Here's sister. She says, Tony, you have a song in your heart. And she encouraged me to really just kind of try, and it really got me into it. So yeah, I play. So good morning, Georgie girl. Good to see you. I don't know if you caught yesterday that I wasn't even supposed to be here today. But, good to see you. I hope you're rifling through emails, but I hope you're also somehow able to concentrate to what I'm saying. I hope I'm not just simply white noise and nothing else. We'll see. Yingling, if you missed yesterday, Georgie Girl was a great call. You were a great call the day before. We talked about your hot dog bush, etc. Yingling says, must have been pulled into the hot dog plant a little early that day. Yeah, I'll be sure to watch it. Yeah, the hot dog plant. I've been saying hot dog bush. Hot dog plant. I guess we never really specifically said, is this a tree? Is it a bush? In my mind, I assumed it's a bush, which I didn't know that's how we did hot dogs. That's fascinating. But anyway, so lest we forget, so welcome everybody. Good to see everybody on this lost Chicago Tony V episode. Who knows? The one that I actually prepare for the least ever. Who knows? Maybe we're going to churn out a gem here together. Maybe that'll happen. But let's get to the mailbag. I've forgotten it 2 days in a row. I got to get these things off my desk. Let's see what it says. I'm probably going to... I got to use my magnifying glass here, or I'm really going to fuck this up. But, oh, shit, you can see it on camera, can't you? God, that's embarrassing. Fuck it. I got to be me, right? All right. Dear Chicago Tony, thank you so much for putting on your show. You're welcome, whoever you are. Thank you for watching. I really enjoy it, and it's becoming part of my almost daily routine. That's very pleasing to me. That's awesome. I have been wondering something about you. Oh, shit. Here we go. I am convinced that you are a truly nice and gentle person. How could you have been involved with a criminal organization? Wow. With the opinion I've developed of you, I can't see how you would stand for that. Keep up the great work. Nian. So it sounds like you're a beautiful baby. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for the kind words. I do think that I'm at my core, I think what I've learned in life is, yeah, I am a nice person. And I like being a nice person. But something to keep in mind is the Chicago Tony V you see today is a culmination of life experience, certainly some bad decisions, allegedly, for entertainment purposes. And I think I was a bad criminal, not really good at it. I was good at some parts of it because of my personality. Maybe it's like anything else, strengths and weaknesses, right? I was good at some stuff, not so good at other stuff. But ultimately, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm tickled that you're picking up some sort of vibe that I'm a good person. And hey, there's a mismatch here. Sister Marie really helped me see this a lot. I already showed you the piano picture. What other pictures of Marie do I have? Here's a great... I think this is a real pretty picture in white here. I have a picture of the first day that I ever laid eyes on Marie without the habit, which is the penguin suit that the nuns wear, right? Check this out. Are you sitting down? Are you sitting down? Hubba hubba boomski. Right? We were, I think that day we were doing something for kids on Christmas, taking kids shopping, poor kids shopping for Christmas. But anyway, you know, and other people, I hope for everybody, for all of you people, that you have someone in your life that, and hopefully multiple someones, that are going to bring out the best in you, and that are going to, give you a second chance, and I think I'm definitely in a second chance phase of my life. I don't know if that answered your question. I feel like I'm kind of rambling. I can't even remember what the hell your question was. Something about I seem nice. How could you? Yeah. Anyway, I'm totally out. I'm not even in the Chicago area anymore. I had to flee. Oh, there's the fuck it. You guys are gonna see this magnifying glass. Okay, here's another letter. Hey Tony, being a Chicago guy who I'm assuming lived through the legendary '85 Bears team. Oh yeah, I sure did. Now that you have perspective, how good was that team, and specifically, how good was Jim McMahon at quarterback? That's a fascinating question. Love the show. Kent from Downers Grove. Hey, Downers Grove. Oh yeah, Downers Grove. How good was the '85 Bears team, and specifically, how good was Jim McMahon? That is an awesome question. Thank you, Kent. The '85 Bears, I mean, it was magical. Now, of course, Walter Payton was on that team, but he was definitely well into the back nine, like I am. He was still, built like a brick shit house, but the real strength of that team was the defense, hands down. And I think Jim McMahon, the punky QB, I think he was better than people give him credit for. But what happened is Jim McMahon did not know how to take care of himself on the field. He didn't know how to protect himself. Like in modern terms, think of a guy like Peyton Manning, right? That dude never got hit, hardly ever. And he had this incredible longevity because he just protected himself. He lived to play another play. Jim McMahon was a little too wild. Jim McMahon was Andrew Luck before Andrew Luck was Andrew Luck. And, the league, just as a fan of the NFL in general, and because of my ties to Indianapolis and the 500, I always liked following the Colts as well. I wish Andrew Luck would have seen, if he had just watched film of guys like Jim McMahon, he would have said, shit, maybe I'd better protect myself. I mean, the guy, McMahon, just kind of never, he had a couple of great years and then it was never the same. He was always hurt. Good question. That's a little too much coffee there, says Valdemir. Hello, good to see you again. I'm on my second cup, which is, probably 2 larges from Dunkin' is too much. Or who knows, since I jumped into the stream, maybe you're actually talking about someone else. And I just jumped in the middle. That's always a risk. Have you ever made an offer to someone they couldn't refuse? No, not really. I've been around some pretty strong offers, though. I have nuns in my family. They don't get enough credit. Yeah. I mean, try taking... I used to take Sister Marie to take her out. She loved banana splits. I'd take her to the Omega on Ogden Avenue. But I mean, prying her away. It's hard to get a nun to take some time off. Thank you, Georgie girl. Yes, her smile is beautiful. Yes. And her inside was just as beautiful. Hey, get your mind out of the gutter, everybody. Come on now. All right, Clem Fandango, what's the Chicago Tony V show? I'll stop by every morning and trying to find out what the hook is. Well, Clem, thank you. And I get, shit, I don't know what the hook is. I don't know what a hook is. Is that like a shtick? I don't know, but I do it every morning, Monday through Friday. Your best bet, if you don't want to miss the show, just put the podcast on your phone. Birdie181 says, you look like my nutsack. Well, you might have a little fluid retention going there. Then I'm worried about You know, it's supposed to be like the size of a peach. If I look like your nutsack, you might be more in like the grapefruit neighborhood, which is my understanding. You know, testicles don't need that amount of real estate. Does that make any sense? How are we doing on time? Real quick, I'm going to tell my Ray Charles story, and I'm going to open up the phones. I'd love to talk to all you crazy kooks. Oh shit. St. Joan 84, god damn it. Send me an email. The email address is ChicagoTonyV like victory @gmail.com. Oh, St. Joan. Okay. Ray Charles. So, all right. So back in the day, so love Ray Charles. And this, what made me think of this is, you know, all this, as I said yesterday, all this time I've been spending going back to piano and discovering Michael Feinstein, etc., etc. It made me, I just started to think of what were other like aha moments just with musicians specifically where I heard them and it's like, I'll never be the same. Ray Charles was definitely one of those. As a dude, I could always kind of play by ear. And so if you put me next to, you know, any normal person who either can't play piano or maybe all they can do is, you know, sight read music like they're a typist. If you put me next to those people, I'll usually look like, you know, like I know what I'm doing, right? But then, and there are a lot of terrific, famous musicians, don't get me wrong, but someone like a Ray Charles, I listened to Ray Charles and watched Ray Charles, and I realized, like I was saying yesterday about Salieri and Mozart, I could watch Ray Charles and realize no matter how hard I work, I will never approach what he does. You know, Billy Joel, he wrote Baby Grand, and he did that duet with Ray Charles. And he talked in the past about, he always loved Ray Charles's voice, and he never, he always wanted to sound like Ray Charles singing, but never could do it. If you ever watch footage of Billy Joel playing Baby Grand live, he's still thinking about Ray Charles in his head. And how do I become a more interesting singer? But he just can't do it. It is what it is. Someone get me back on track, please. The fluid retention joke got me. Thank you, Yingling. ChicagoTonyVGloryholes.com. If you guys seize that domain before I have a chance to get one to buy that, I'm gonna kick some ass. Tony V Glory Holes. That's actually horrible. Do you like Rachmaninoff? Not my favorite. A little too busy. I'm not quite smart enough, probably, to enjoy Rachmaninoff the way I should. So, Ray Charles. Sorry, my Ray Charles story. 21 minutes. All right. So way back in the day, I happened to be in the presence of a very wealthy person, and we'll just call him Mr. Big for simplicity's sake. Now, this was a guy, he used to buy the highest end Mercedes. They were gigantic, I mean, beautiful cars. But I mean, these were this would have been in the late 80s, I guess. These would have been like, I don't know, $80,000 car. And this guy would do like 2 a year. I believe one year this dude did 3 of those. So he would have them for like 6 months. He'd like, all right, he'd be, all right, I'm done with this one. He'd go buy a new one. Insane, right? So this guy had a lot of dough. I was with him one day and he mentioned that Mercedes put on this cocktail party, or was going to be hosting a cocktail party that night for their biggest high rollers, clients, guys like him. And guess who was going to play at this cocktail party? Ray Charles. And I can't remember. I think it was at the Drake maybe hotel. Very nice place. I don't know my Chicago hotels as well as I should, and it's been a long time ago, but very nice, beautiful venue. And the guys, he just mentioned, I'm not going, you know, I got something else going on, and he didn't even seem interested. Well, I'm thinking, shit, that's fascinating. And so my little brother and I, we hatched this plan. He's a big Ray Charles fan too. Who wouldn't be? And we decided, all right, we're going to go. We're just going to show up. We're going to dress up. You know, let's wear a nice suit and whatnot. We're going to show up at this place. Just give this guy's name. See if they let us in. Now, we had enough presence of mind that we couldn't go in together. It occurred to us when we got there. It's like, shit, it's one guy. There's two of us. So I think my brother went in first. He used the name. They let him in. I walk up 10 minutes later. I use the same name. They let me in. Now we're in this cocktail party. This highfalutin cocktail party. And I mean, it was intimate. There couldn't have been more than 500 people. As I remember, I think it was all dudes. I really don't remember a lady being in there at all. Which is, you know, whatever. I don't even know what that means or why I would have brought it up. But anyway, it's this little cocktail party. Our tables are seated around. In the middle is Ray Charles. And he had a little four-piece, I think. He had his drummer with him, bass, and a guitarist, and him on piano. Unbelievable. I was sitting 20 feet away from freaking Ray Charles. Chance of a lifetime. Well, these fucking Mercedes Benz owners could have given a shit. All they did the whole time is talk to each other. That's it, around these cocktail tables. So you heard this, I couldn't believe it. So you just heard this low murmur. And then a musical giant who changed, forever changed music in his own way, is sitting feet away, and these fucking idiots have no idea. Well, I watched the whole thing, and I couldn't believe. I loved it. It was amazing. But then also, I just kind of felt bad. Well, so finally, his set is over, and he gets up, and one of his, like the drummer, his job was to take him back to the dressing room or whatever. Because you might not know this, Ray Charles is blind. Anyway, so it's right in front of me. It's like, fuck, I'm going to go up and I'm going to walk with Ray Charles too. So it was the drummer on one side, and I just got right on the other, and I put my arm around his shoulder and walked with him along his left side. Freaking Ray Charles. Now, he was already so old by that time. This was late 80s. He was already old enough that he was like a Muppet. Now, he was such a musical god still that I wasn't expecting that. Like, so when I put my hand on his back, it's like, holy shit. This dude's old. Like, he was frail. He was frail. Anyway, I just said, Ray, thank you so much. Thank you. That was amazing. I said, fuck these people. I said, Ray, I am never going to buy a Mercedes Benz in my life. Ever. And I have not to this day, and I never will. And that's why. Because those assholes taught me what it's like to own a Mercedes Benz. Now, any of you nice people, my pepperonis, I'm sure some of you own Mercedes Benzes. Please don't take it personally. But I don't mean you. But I mean, I just think that was really telling. So that's it was awesome to meet Ray Charles. Unbelievable. Chance of a lifetime. I had seen him live, you know, other times, but I never had a chance to walk with him. And he was totally, it didn't bother him. He's like, hey, it's all right, baby, you know. And so I walked back to his dressing room with him, and it was terrific. I've opened up the phone lines, everybody. 317-721-6782. Love to get a call on this Friday. Congratulations to everybody. Now, will I notice the phone? We'll see. I'm having lunch with Vincenzo this weekend, and I'm gonna say, hey, dude, one of the things I gotta put a list together. One of the things is make my phone tell me when someone calls in. Give me some sort of sound. Give me some sort of sound. How are we doing on time? 16 minutos. Ray Charles is the same color as my bung holio. How would you know that, Birdie? What, have you squatted over a mirror? That's really paints quite a picture. Crazy O Fingers, welcome. You say Chicago should be known for Italian beef, not stuffed pizza. Well, you know, I would argue that they're kind of known for both. My favorite Italian beef in Chicago, Buona. Buona. They have really good cheese fries too. It is not the crinkly kind. So I was not making money off the Buona cheese fries, but they are terrific. Yingling, yeah, that's once in a multiple lifetime opportunity. Absolutely. Absolutely. It was really life-changing. That's one of my favorite stories. It sounds like you were the smartest person in the room. I doubt it. I doubt it. These were some pretty loaded people, and some of them probably even did it honestly. So I don't know if I was the smartest guy. But I don't know how you have Ray Charles sitting feet away from you. You don't shut up and listen. I don't get it. I don't get it. JC for Brew. Yes, you know, I have this Muppet theory, right? God does this to us. We get to a certain age, right? Where we kind of don't look human anymore. And we go into this Muppet phase. For those of us that are lucky enough to live long, we go into this Muppet phase. And Ray Charles was in that phase when I met him. I tell you, I'm not going to get political, but I'm just saying, and I don't see this talked about. No one's talking about we're bringing a Muppet into the White House. This is an established Muppet. He is well into Muppetdom. Normally, like if you go back to Reagan, that guy was borderline Muppet, but he wasn't quite a Muppet. He became one when he was in office, which, you know, that's okay. It's less than ideal, but shit, when have we ever brought a Muppet into the White House? It should be interesting. And that's the end of my political commentary. I will not take the bait. Thank you, Yingling. Hey, the phone number is 317-721-6782. I'd love to talk to anyone with, we've got 13 minutes left. Tons of time. SR Madison, deep dish is my favorite. Some people call it casserole. You know, it's kind of amazing how often deep dish comes up on the ChicagoTonyV show. You should check out the my YouTube channel, ChicagoTonyV like vegetable. There's in an FAQ section, I talk about Chicago pizza because I'm asked all the time. So if you kind of like deep dish, you should check that out. I have a favorite pizza joint in the Chicago area that no one knows about, so you got to check that out. Damn, Tony, I think I saw you in those videos from the Capitol, homie. Yeah, I haven't even watched. I've heard about what you're talking about, but fuck that shit. I'm just gonna spend my time talking to beautiful people like Georgie Girl, like Yingling. He grows hot dog trees. You know, I'm gonna relearn how to play piano. That's a much better use of my time. Whatever they put on the television screens and through social media, thanks but no thanks. Yes, I agree. God's Death Note. Someone call in. That would be awesome. 317-721-6782 is the number. And who else can you guys think of that turned into a Muppet? Let's see. Ray Charles. That Biden dude. Orange Man, I think, is a Muppet too. Clearly a Muppet, especially the hair. It's like spun sugar, right? It's like orange spun sugar that would come right out of Jim Henson's Muppet Factory. So you got to put... now, what's his wife's name? What the hell is her name? Melania, right? She's a great candidate for Muppetdom later. She's probably already had work, right? They all get work on their face when you got that kind of money. But if she's had any work, it's just been minor. But one of these days, when shit really starts sagging, etc., she's gonna go big. She's gonna really start dumping some money, and she's really going to look like a shiny Muppet. It's gonna be unbelievable. Let's see what else, you guys. Great background music. Thank you, Money Spot. I really, I love music. Music's important to me, and one of the biggest things I worry about with the ChicagoTonyV show is not mixing up the music enough. So I'm gonna be working on that. Just trying to I want to mix it up. What happens behind the scenes is Skynet, or whatever this technocratic nightmare Google has put together. They're so smart now. You get Vince told me, Mr. V, some of your videos are getting like a copyright claim or something like that. It's like, what the fuck? What? Like songs from 1916. Whatever. So I gotta figure it out. It's actually kind of tough. George Burns, Norm Macdonald. What about Norm? Oh, Muppets. Oh, right. Yeah, Norm Macdonald. I love Norm Macdonald. Yes, he definitely started looking like a Muppet. Now, I think there's some sort of, with Norm, there was some sort of health thing going on there, I think. Right? That dude swelled up. And trust me, I know about swelling up. But his swelling up is different than my swelling up. His was like he's on some sort of steroids or something like that. What I love about Norm, because he would be asked, like people could tell. It's like, hey, Normie, you're not looking so good. And so people would sort of bring it up in interviews and stuff. Hey, how you feeling? You feeling okay? What's going on? And just in true Norm Macdonald fashion, he would just have the greatest lines. Like one of the things I saw him say was, it's for a part. I had to gain weight for a part. Then he just talked about, I just started having too much fried chicken and gravy or whatever, which, you don't gain that sort of weight that late in life without some, weird thing. George Burns, how could you not? You can't. I mean, the dude died, he was what, 101 years old? You can't escape Muppetdom by that time. Flagged erroneously. Did they do that? That could be the word of the day. I'm proud. Whichever pepperoni Oh, S.R. Madison. Erroneously. That's a very good word. I would really like the show to not only just be entertaining for everybody, but also enriching. Let's learn some new words. So, what a fellow from Europe used a word that chartreuse. Shit, I can't even say it. So obviously, I haven't learned the word charcuterie. I don't know. YouTube is just code algorithms to look for patterns against the fingerprint of a song. So it's not perfect. It's scaled so it goes on probability and not an exact match. Oh, that's fascinating. But I mean, I'm not surprised. But is that the kind of world we want to live in? There's too much this technology shit. It's going too far. I'm getting the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, because I think they figured out over the years, especially since Roger Penske, the captain, took it over. They're very good marketers now, which I'm all for. This every year, reordering my tickets. I've been a ticket holder now, or my family's been a ticket holder for 34 years. And it's always stressed me out. It's always been a little clunky until the captain took it over. Good God. I mean, talk about your VIP service, especially in the face of all this there was this pandemic thing going on last year. You guys may or may not have heard of that. But it fucked up all the tickets and seating and all that stuff. And they made it easier than you could believe. Does anyone know why I started talking about Roger Penske? Oh, the track. They send me communiques all the time. Very good. And they're doing this race with self-driving cars coming up. No. You know what? I'm not going to go see that race. No. That's too far. World we want to live in. Interesting. A lot of programmers are philosophers. Did you know? Are they really? Is Vince a programmer? No. I mean, maybe. I would be surprised. If Vincenzo programs anything, he's probably one of these dudes that's video games, I think, is what he loves, from what I can tell. I have this feeling. So if he's programming anything, it's something like he's creating the next video game or whatever. And hopefully he's learning that, I got to work. I got to work hard. I'm having lunch with Vincenzo this weekend. I'm kind of looking forward to catching up. What is your favorite Chicago sports team? Very good question. I mean, I'm going to give probably a boring answer. I mean, the Bears. I love the history. One thing I love about the Bears, and I know part of this is it's just such a gigantic city, right? But we have a lot of shit years that we can look back on. A lot. In between, people forget before the 85 Bears. Oh my God, some of the shit teams we had. And certainly after the 85 Bears, we had some rough times. No matter how shitty the team is, it was so hard to get tickets. There were times where I'm just going to go to Soldier Field to go watch a game. The Bears suck. So surely I can get a ticket. Nope. Packed. Just packed. Sea of people trying to buy tickets. So I was kind of like that. The Cubs. The Cubs are. I like that whole vibe too. The whole neighborhood, having a ballpark right in a neighborhood is just terrific. And that when they won the World Series, holy hell, and the way they won it, You don't understand, generations of my family would just sit and watch Cubs games year after year. That in my family, that's what you did when you were of retirement age. You just watched Cubs games, all of them. We're down to a minute and a half. Give me a good tip on which NFL team I should bet on this weekend. Packers, baby. Packers. People think the Rams, with that Jared Goff guy, he sprained, he has the thumb injury. Goff is not a gamer anyway. There's no way those guys are going to beat the Packers. Unless I'm wrong. The Bulls. I love all the Chicago teams. I mean, I've had good times at all of them. So, beggars can't be choosers. Hey, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Who knows? I might even hop on sometime over the weekend and just have some fun. I don't know. So maybe I'll see some of you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy some football. This has been fun. I think this impromptu ChicagoTonyV show, I got through it. It's been doable. I was really hoping some of you guys would call me, but people are feeling shy. Yingling, call me next week, babe. I want to talk more about the hot dog tree. And I want to know if you can get me some seeds. Thank you for all the nice comments. Don't take any shit from anybody.